the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey Jordan, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see.
Welcome back.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening
Welcome to
Talks.
Evening Talks with Just
Evening
Jordan
Talks.
and Marie. I hope you all are great this beautiful evening, all you wonderful, beautiful people. How are you, Jordan?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, just the vocals. Oh god. We're good to go. We're good to go. Sweet. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Just Cool Radio. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I had one of those power naps today, Marie, which was really,
Good.
really beneficial for me. You know what I mean? So it just done what it needed to
See, I
do.
told you the benefits of a power nap.
Good power nap.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. It was good. It was good. Some of the schools were on strike today as well.
Yes.
So that meant that there was more children around.
I understand about the strike.
Yep.
However, I do agree that teachers, yes, you need to get more pay. I get it because you do a lot. You're not only just teachers, you're a mother, you're an counselor, you're everything to the children. However, some of us still need to work. Yeah. And then, we've got to have our little beautiful kids with us when
That's right.
it just makes the day slightly harder.
Yep.
But we love them anyway.
Love
of
them
course,
anyway.
our
Love
blessings.
them anyway. I'm telling you, our little champions.
Definitely.
Definitely. No, it's good. It's good. It's good. One thing I think you can learn a lot from children. You know, like
Definitely.
the innocence of a child. Yeah. You know, like the boldness that children have, and how they express themselves and say things, can definitely take a lot from them. I think, adults teach children how to be fearful, if that makes sense. Because if you let the children be, they will just do, you know what I mean?
And remember, in the childcare field, in the childcare terms, they said that adults are the primary carer for the children, which means that's where they learn from, where they're first educators. So in that aspect, we as the adults involved with the children's life, whether you're biological or not, what we say, how we behave, what we impart into them has an effect on them from a young age.
Yes.
So that's a bit of food for thought to think about, what are we, I always say to my free champions that, you can do this. You're handsome, you're beautiful.
That's right.
Because they are.
That's right.
And they
Gotta
need to hear
remind
that
them.
seed from now so it can grow. Yeah.
Because, as I just mentioned, like, children are usually fearless, and then it's society, their parents, what they're exposed to, that puts fear in them regarding certain things, puts doubt in their mind, because subconsciously a lot of parents can sow the seed of doubt in their children because they haven't overcome a
Their
fear
fear.
yet.
And their doubts as well.
Yeah, it's a very deep concept. So on the flip side of that, it is also for the parents to speak life to the children.
Definitely.
And empower the children. Like you said, you say to your champions, like, you're handsome, you're beautiful, do you know what I mean?
You can
like,
do this.
You can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're telling them about the greatness of their exterior, that they're made, in God's image, you know what I mean?
But
Wonderfully
also
and
not just
fearfully
about also what's within that
But
they still
equally,
need to
yes.
nurture and bring out.
Equally, yes. Their person, the actual them as the person, are a blessing to society, and they've got something to do. Do you know what I mean? And you know what's funny? This track that we're playing in the background is called Purpose, and we're gonna play it at some point really soon. And I feel like this will be a great message to just kickstart to our wonderful listeners this week. Do you know what I mean? Reminding them that all of us have a purpose. Do you know what I mean?
A purpose.
Yeah.
But the question is, are you allowing life situation to suppress your purpose? Are you allowing environments,
Come on.
people who are no longer conducive for your life to stop you from your purpose?
That's right.
Or do you want to stay stagnant? I think it's time for us to leave our handprint, our imprint, purpose out here now. So let's get ready. It's that time now. Isn't it, Jordan?
It's that time. 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 Yeah, man. I'm. Do you know what? I feel like. Well, I don't know. Maybe some of the Well, if you're listening for the first time, to Just Cool Radio, we want to thank you. We want to big you up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we want to big you up.
In.
If you're the first time listening to Evening Talks, we want to thank you. We want to big
thank
you up.
you again.
Do you know what I mean?
Thank you for all of your support. Much appreciated.
And to the people who have been following the journey of Evening Talks, can you believe, Marie? This is our 4th week. Like,
I know.
I just blinked and we're on week 4. Like, what?
But you know, Jordan, I remember when we done the first show and you said, give it like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we'll be into it.
Yeah.
We are on the 4th show.
Yeah. Time waits for no one.
No one.
Yeah. Because genuinely, I feel like I just was watching the first one, like, you know what I mean? Watching it back, you know what I mean? And now we're on week 4. It's special, man. I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that. Have you had anything interesting this week happen?
Apart from submitting in my assignment.
Oh, yeah.
That was, release now.
Yeah,
I can relax
and
just take my time to do the next one.
Yeah.
And just being surrounded by my blessings and my loved ones. But
Do you know what's funny? I feel like when it comes to like deadlines, we've got to meet a deadline. There's a lot of like different emotions and like I don't even like using the term anxiety, but some people experience forms of anxiety because they're in anticipation, wondering like, are they gonna get over the line with it how they really want to? You know what I mean?
But as I always say, because my good friend, love her to pieces, teacher Lavi, has been doing her assignment.
Oh yes.
And I know sometimes she might have like a bit of a mental block. So I said to her, do you know what? Take a breather, go for a walk, do what you need to do. But remember, it always gets done.
That's right.
But when we stress so much, you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to meet the deadline? Yes, you are going to meet the deadline.
Yeah, definitely.
Just calm down.
Definitely.
It's going to get done.
It's going to get done.
Yeah.
So anyone out there who's studying, anyone out there who, perhaps is running a business or you're working in an environment where, your workplace requires you to meet deadlines, there's things that you have to submit. Remember what Marie just said.
It always gets done.
That's right. It does.
I remember when I was studying for my degree in childcare, say like 12 hours before the assignment was supposed to be submitted in, I didn't have a paragraph.
Oh, wow.
My mind just went, I had everything on the table, mine just went blank. So I said, no, this got to get done. And I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning. By 7, it was done.
Wow.
Submitted in and passed when I got back. So that's why I say it always gets done.
That's right. That's powerful. I believe that spoke to someone out there because what day is it today? Thursday. Someone might have like something due tomorrow. You know what I mean? Someone might have something due tomorrow.
Don't stress. You've got this.
Don't stress.
Encourage yourself. You've got this. Pump yourself up. I've got this.
That's right. And we believe that some of the things that we share, some of the items that we shared this evening on Evening Talks should help you through, the deadlines and stuff like that.
You might have personal deadlines for yourself.
Oh, come on.
It's not only just the studying aspect or work. You may have personal deadlines.
Yeah.
And I would just encourage all our beautiful listeners, just like I encourage Just Jordan, stop beating up on yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do, set realistic targets and you will achieve them. And that helps you to balance out not becoming so stressed, anxious and worried and, just set realistic goals and work towards it. And if you don't even complete all of them, for example, for this month, just carry it forward. You know, you still got a few more months left in the year. Just, you know, everything will fall into place within time.
Do you know what word came to me just now, Marie? Composure.
Yes.
It's important to keep your composure. Like, I watched a boxing match this week. Yeah, it was a big fight. Ryan Garcia and Tank versus Tank, and yeah, it was serious. And that Ryan Garcia, he came out smoky. Like, he was just hitting fast, and you know what I mean. But Tank now, he just held the composure. Do you know what I mean? He just said, you know what, I see what this guy's game plan is, but I'm gonna keep my composure. And Ryan Garcia must have threw like a combo, yeah. And Tank just timed it, pew, just hit the man just hit the canvas in the second round. And it was like the crowd's roaring and everything, because they're thinking usually people don't come out smoky like that on Tank because of how he goes on. But Ryan Garcia was like, yep, I'm gonna do this to you, come out rushing. Tank just kept composed, pew, just put him down in the second round. Fast forward in the 7th round now, same kind of things going on. And then as Ryan Garcia's handing them combos to him, Tank just saw an opening. He goes, yeah.
Jackpot.
You see the liver shot he gave him, you know, it's hit him in the liver. Gave him something to really think about. The man had to just take the knee. And then that was it. Like, he couldn't recover. And the ref had to just wave it off. Yeah. And after now, when they had the press conference and they were talking about the fight, they were saying, like, was Ryan Garcia one of your hardest opponents? He said, yes, he was. But I had to keep my composure. Yes, he said, I had to keep relaxed. Do you know what I mean? And I said, this is serious, because I've heard the word composure pop up a few times this week alone. Do you know what I mean? Because I could feel myself kind of getting a bit anxious, you know, overwhelmed. And feeling, you know, various pressures where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't plan for this or I didn't plan for that, but yet still it's happening, and I had to keep my composure.
But remember, this is life. The school of life. You're not always prepared. So you're right, you have to have your composure, because things will come at you, and okay, it's that day. All right, balance it out. It's not always easy. But you just got to try to balance it out. So Jordan, do you want to tell our beautiful listeners what we will be divulging in today? Yeah. You know, we are going to have a continuation, to an extent, from our last week's episode about the impact of an absent parent. And it's funny because though last week, Marie, we both got very passionate at times, didn't we? Definitely, Jordan. Definitely.
We got passionate at times. And although we explored so many things, it's like, in my opinion, is that we still only kind of skimmed the surface. And it's funny because we also found out that we had a few messages that we didn't actually see that came through to the Just Cool Radio account and phone and stuff like that, you know. So
we will read that message.
Let's read that message, because we, after the continuation, we can then let's tell them now. So we're gonna have the continuation, then we're gonna go into a topic that's interlocked with the continuation, and then we'll end on a note that's even interlocked with that. So get your snacks ready, man. Get your snacks
ready. Your glass of wine.
Get your glass of wine.
Cup of coffee.
Oh, come on,
your
whatever
biscuits.
it is that, you know, gives you comfort, you know, while you're listening to Evening Talk, because we're exploring.
Or you
some
might want to
fun
have
stuff.
Orange juice, J2O, or water. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that one there, you know, that is a. Oh gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny what, you know, people can suggest for you sometimes, you know. Oh, dear.
Oh.
Marie, over to you. Over to you.
So
We gotta get our composure now, innit?
definitely.
Over to you. Over to you. But yeah, we had the message pop in from last week that as we said, one particular message that we didn't get to read. So we want to make sure that we're reading the messages.
Yeah.
And a bit later on, we're going to open the phone lines.
But we do apologize in advance if we do miss your message. It's not intentional.
Yes.
So please bear with us. So the message, because we was talking about the impact of the absent parent, the message that we got through from a beautiful, all of our listeners are beautiful, so I'm calling everybody that, messaging was, this is what they had said. Speaking from a place where I had no choice but to be a single parent due to the challenges that other parents face personally. It was very hard and sad, but you made such a day that I never gave up on or let my feelings take over, because I knew that my son was depending on me, and I promised myself I would never fail him. It was an act of selflessness, and I live by it. Thank you very much for that message from that individual who sent that to us. And I was talking about her perspective on how, she had to stand in that gap because she was refusing to allow whatever was going on personally with the other parent to affect.
Yes.
And, I really respect that, because sometimes when we are in a situation and the absent parent is not there, as the parent who is actively there, you can go through so much different emotions that you kind of miss making your child the focus here, that they are mentally, emotionally, spiritually stable.
That's right.
It's not about always giving them the latest gadgets or the latest clothes, but it's giving that warmth, that love, that reassurance. These are the things that build us as children, as individuals, as we strive through life, the school of life, as I would like to call it.
That's right. It's deep, man.
Yeah.
It's deep because I heard, what's so beautiful about this is that some people may not believe me when I say this, but you gotta believe me, guys. You gotta believe me, and ladies,
we believe you, Jordan.
Believe me. There's sometimes where I'm here at evening talks and a thought would cross my mind from something I've heard before, and it's something that I genuinely have forgotten about, and because it's not something that I maybe think about on a day-to-day basis, for argument's sake, and then whilst being in the studio at evening talks, it pops back to my mind, and it was this. I heard the lady say to me that when a male decides that he doesn't want to participate in his child's life, the mother doesn't have the same choice to just be like, oh, I'm not going to be in my child's life. And unfortunately, most of the time in our community, the mother, when the father leaves, or the father decides to leave, or has the thought crosses his mind to leave, and he actually acts upon it, the mother is the one who has to
pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, that in that aspect, to have the other parent void, that's also going to have an impact on that mother. It can also affect her as a person, like, am I not good enough? Well, you have to walk away, not only from me, but the child, or this is what we share. It's part of me, it's part of you. It can also have a reflection on that the parent, am I not good enough? You can, it's a difficult situation.
It's a very, very, very difficult one. And unfortunately, there are some males who have already decided that they want to check out or not be a part of that child's life from before the child is even born, and something that people don't always consider is how a woman carries a child. during the pregnancy and what impact that has on the child.
But also another thing as well, as I'm a mother as well, if you think about the process that the woman goes through just carrying the child, do you know that it's a life and death situation that woman is in? You hear about how many women have died in childbirth, and to know that you're bringing forth a blessing, but it's like you're putting your life as well in a balance, and then to come through it, thank you God, with the blessing, and then to know that you've gone through that, your body's gone through a level of trauma because
Of course.
your organs have gone further up than normal, your body's kind of been opened up because of the process your body's gone through, and then to go through all of that and then begin to restore, repair your body back to how it should go back to. And then mentally, you're left with, but he's gone now. And I've got to deal with me healing and then looking after my child, all the needs. And if that woman, as we're just speaking from a mother's perspective right now, doesn't have a support network,
Even
that
worse.
can be very challenging. And sometimes that does happen to some women. They don't always have their close-knit people around them because of various reasons. They could have moved away from their family because
I know someone like that.
So
I know someone like that. They move far to be closer to work.
Yeah.
And then end up with child. And then they were isolated because
They had no support
they
network.
had no support network where they lived. It was going to take at least an hour plus, maybe like say minimum an hour and a half to get back closer to, you know, where her village was, if you like, you know, where her support network was. And when I was listening to the individual explain what kind of thoughts went through her mind, that stuff, because that the father of her child had said he doesn't want anything to do with the baby, like from before the baby's even come out, and she's living far. And then she said there was sometimes where the baby just wouldn't stop crying, wouldn't stop crying,
because the baby feels the mother's emotions. I think people fail to understand that when the baby is in the womb, you know, the baby can still get hair. I remember like when my sister-in-law, she was pregnant with my nephew, and my daughter, Special K, went and touched her belly, rubbed her belly and started singing. And I said to her, what's the baby doing? She said, he started kicking. So that already is showing his interaction with his cousin.
Come on.
So they are aware. So, you know, women, which is not always, you know, they can't always manage it, but at times. But if you're feeling overly emotional, the baby's feeling it. I'm not saying that it's their fault they're feeling like that, but it's having the baby's fit. Just like when you eat something. If I'm eating sweet corn and all them things, that the baby's going to eat sweet corn as well. And then sometimes it's, I don't know, maybe because the love I have for children as well, it's just so unfair that child is innocent to have to, but you know. Yeah,
it's deep. It's deep because, you know what, there was this one time, I was saying the memory again, because you see now I'm actually holding my composure. Things are coming back to my memory, you know what I mean? And I was even thinking about this one time where I saw this lady who had a baby kind of, perhaps, I don't know, about a year before or so. Yeah, this was about a year ago, so maybe that baby's about 2 now, yeah? And I saw this lady, and a lady I know, and I was talking to her about like my poetry and stuff like that, and she was like, Jordan, like, when you know, come back on the scene, you know, with your poems and stuff like that, like, she said, I'm sure it's gonna be like really powerful because a lot of people, well, because you haven't been doing it for a while actively, all the time that you've been quiet, I'm sure you've been learning like loads of valuable life lessons that you can present back to the people. And I said, of course. And then yeah, I said, yeah, man. I said, oh gosh, sorry, I lost the train. Let me get the train back.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Yeah, she was saying, she's sure that when I return, I'm gonna present a lot of life lessons that I've learned, and transfer them over to the people. I said, yeah, I've got loads of things loading up, and I asked her. I said, what would you recommend? What would you recommend me say? What topics are on your mind? And she said postnatal depression. I was like, what? She was just like, yeah. She was just like, Jordan, I would not be able to, vocalize that kind of thing because like who her partner is kind of thing. Her partner is someone who's like someone who people know and stuff like that, on social media and all that kind of stuff. So she was just like, she herself could never explain from a first-hand experience what it's like having the postnatal depression. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, man, this is deep. And again, going back to the type of pregnancies a lady can have, and then especially if there's been rejection from the father, and the father's now an absent father before the child's even born.
But let's just take it a little bit deeper. What if that mother is rejected by family, and that's still some underlying issue that hasn't been addressed, and then now the father? It's just like, for example, Jordan, it's just like you or myself as individuals, we go through personal things, and then you come across people, and then they end up like misleading you, mistreating you. They don't understand the battle you were dealing with because we don't wear it on the outside. It's internal. So them coming along and behaving that way, they don't realize how that can have an impact on you, because everything is all internal.
That's right.
We can walk out every day and say hi, smile, whatever, but nobody apart from you will really know what's going on inside. That can lead to depression, isolation, and affect children.
It's deep. It's so deep.
It is.
It's so deep. But you know what? No matter what the actual circumstance is, we know that every person has a purpose.
Definitely.
Yeah. And it's
and
funny.
Sometimes,
go for it.
Sometimes, in a very funny way, the pain, the struggle that we as individuals go through actually prepares you and pushes you into your purpose.
Come on.
I know it's funny to say that because you're like, but I'm hurting.
Yeah.
I'm broken.
Yeah.
I'm in chaos.
Yeah.
But sometimes the way how we deal with the situation will push you or catapult you into your purpose.
Yeah. That's right. And you know what? There was something that I wanted to share about the effects of the absent parent before we play the song Purpose, yeah? And it's like, I know a young person, yeah? And how old are they? The person is 15, yeah? 15. And the person has basically, the mum and dad have 2 children, and then the dad has got his own children, and he's got plenty more. I'm not sure the number, but he's got plenty more. Now, she's the younger sibling of the 2 that her mum and dad have, yeah? Okay, it's a she, basically. I was trying to not, but okay. I've let it out now. Yes, it's a she, yeah?
Out the bag.
I'm telling you. But anyway, bless her cottons. her older sibling has got this gripe with her. Like, he doesn't. I think it's like because the young lady's got such like a light and a glow and like a gift in just communication and stuff like that. I don't think he has it. So he kind of resents his little sister. Like, why is she like so bold? Like, why is she? Though he doesn't really vocalize it, it kind of shows because he's got this thing that he doesn't really like his younger sister. Now, the mum, she lives like on the other side of London, and the young lady lives with her grandmother. Now, the dad lives in America. So you got her living with the grandmother, her mum lives on the other side of London, and the dad lives in America. But the older brother lives with the mum. So it's only her that lives with the grandma. And the mum has got it financially. Yeah.
Okay.
So the mum drives big cars, the mum earns, and the mum will kind of throw money at the child. Yeah. But that motherly nurturing,
The nurturing
the
side.
nurturing side, yeah, that's it, is absent.
Okay.
Absent. And the grandmother, she's got her own life. Do you know what I mean? She's got her own things she's taking care of, but she still does her best to look after her grandchild. The dad, he hasn't got much to say. I mean, as I said, he's in America, but he doesn't even call her that much. Like, do you know what I mean? He's just concentrating on his other children and whatever else he's doing. So he's physically absent and emotionally absent. The mum is absent, in person, and just as I said, with the nurturing side and stuff like that. But looking at the mum, you would think that she would care about her child more, but she doesn't, because no one really knows. Like, because she's too busy working and doing whatever she's doing, no one really knows. So the mum would see me and tell me things like, oh yeah, like, you know, we've just got a new property. Oh yeah, we've just got this, or oh, we just got that. But I'm thinking, yeah, that's all well and good, but your child needs you. You know what I mean? Your child lives with your own mum, yeah? And your own mum hasn't got that much time, but your mum's got more time than you have to look after your daughter. And the little girl started getting in trouble and all of this kind of stuff, and I was just like, I don't know how I could kind of help.
There's emotions.
Yeah,
that
because
she's battling with.
Yeah, and
sometimes as parents, we don't realize that the dynamics of how things may go at times, because we're not here to discriminate about how your situation is.
No.
But the impact that can have on the child, because a child's mind is still young. So when they see things, it's hard to process, like, so why is he like that? Why is he like that? So why am I not living there? It could be just a perfect explanation, but it can lead to other emotions being open. Open those emotions, don't have the mindset capacity to deal with that. Comes out in the behavior.
Because the young lady, she started getting in fights. She started getting in a lot of trouble. And there was so many issues that, you know, due to confidentiality, I can't even say, though I've not, you know, said the names or whatever, but it's like, because there's specific things that happened, I can't say. But it was just like other, you know, authorities, if you like, had to get involved at certain times, if that makes sense, because of the nature of things that started happening due to the rejection and the absent parents. And I was like, one day I was like, I need to speak to her. And she lives like not far from myself. That's how I know them. And I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to approach it, because I don't really want to say something to the grandmother, because it's not really my business. And then, as I said, she's only a child herself, so I need to speak to an adult. And at the same time, I felt like if I speak to the mum might look at me funny, kind of thing, like, what are you getting involved for, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I don't care whether the mum really liked me or not. It was more like the well-being of the child was
Yeah.
my concern, because you live quay over the other side of London. I live near this child, and I'm seeing her walking around late. I'll be walking my dogs late at night, and I'm seeing her. I'm like, look, girl, where
What
you
you doing
going?
out here?
Where
Yeah.
it's late. It's past your bedtime. Like, where you going? Oh, hi, Jordan. I'm like, home now. Yeah, get home now. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I started to realize, like, certain times, due to the times her grandma was going to work, where grandma's working nights and them thing there, she's got free reign.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So mum's on the other side of London, busy buying houses and whatever she's says she's doing, and then the father's in America doing whatever him saying my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm just like, yo, what's going on? You lot just left her to just rot, yeah? And I saw her one day, yeah, and she just started breaking down to me how she feels, and I was like, this is all a mess, because big car. I said the mum drive big Jeeps, and she's changing them frequently, you know. Yeah, she's changing them. She's doing her thing. You know what I mean? But I'm like, what is this profit in? Because is it just that you love your first child because he lives with you, but your second child, your daughter, you don't business about her? Why? I don't understand. It's not like it's like, oh well, she's for her next man. No, it's the same father that they have. They have the same dad. Do you understand what I'm saying? And even the brother, he don't check for his little sister. He's putting all these negative prophecies on her, saying stuff like, yeah, man, she's gonna be pregnant soon, and all these kind of things. I'm thinking, bro, rather than helping your little sister, why would you be saying those kind of things? But again, it's like the little girl's got a light. Like, she's got such a light and talent and stuff like that. I think it is just him that didn't know how to handle it, and he's insecure or something. You know what I mean? So I can see that his parents are present for him, because the father in America call the boy, you know, calls the older brother, but don't check for the daughter. So I'm like, why have these people rejected the girl? Do you understand what I'm saying? And it was so concerning to me. And I could see the evidence of it. Anyway, fast forward. It turns out that there's a sport that this young lady is very good at. I saw the grandmother. The grandmother told me, she said, look, she's good at this sport here. I said, yeah? I said, all right, I'll do whatever I can in my power to speak to people who, you know, are involved in that industry there, and let me see what we can do to help. And I've started making phone calls. I've started, you know, reaching out to, you know, these organizations and stuff to see how we can best support her so she can flourish in this thing, because she's really talented within it and she can really go far. Do you know what I mean? But I thought, if this girl hadn't discovered her gift for this sport, I don't know what the future would hold.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And she's still in the transition because her foot's not fully through the door with it yet, but she's got a focus. Do you know what I mean?
Process.
She's in the process.
Yes.
And I think to myself, you see, when she makes it, yeah, I don't know what the mum's going to have to say, because the mum ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't know what the father's going to have to say. Because let's say the girl goes Olympics now. Oh, that's my daughter. Oh, that's my daughter.
But you know, Jordan, saying that, it's really funny, because sometimes the children that the parents overlook, reject, when they begin to walk in their purpose and their talent, it's amazing. These parents are, oh, my daughter, that's enough. Oh, you know, sorry, when they were in the process, where was you?
Where were you?
Where was you?
Come on.
And I think this can be linked in to the other part of our topic today.
Yep,
would you like to introduce it, Jordan? And then we'll give out the studio number so we can get interactive.
That's right.
And everyone can call in.
That's right.
Don't be shy. Please don't be shy. We want to hear your voices as well as ours.
Right. So, moving on, we want to ask people, what are the goals we are striving towards when dating, when courting, when entering
a relationship with an individual?
Yes. What are the things that cross your mind? What are the criterias that you have in mind to meet? when you see someone. Because what's the famous line when the guys see the woman, Marie? They always tell them that they like them, but how do they say it?
Oh, me like you now.
Yep.
Sorry, what
Yep.
do you like? You
What do
don't
you
know
like?
me.
That's right.
What's your goals?
You don't know me, bruv.
You don't know me, bruv.
Yeah. And it's true, because this is what we see. And like, for example, with that young lady, I do wonder, what did the parents see? Because they didn't last. You know, they had 2 children. Yeah. I feel like it was like a convenience thing. Like, it was that convenience, they can get things out of each other. Then, as I said, the man just cut. He's gone to America. He's had bag of kids in the meantime anyway.
No.
And I'm not saying this in a judgmental way,
No,
please.
yeah.
I'm just trying to set the scene. Yeah. And yeah, he's gone wherever he is, doing whatever he's doing in America. And the woman's just there doing whatever she's doing. And it's like they've got no consensus. They've got 2 children together, but they've got no understanding or nothing. And then the mum, she's remarried now, yeah, or I don't know. I don't think she was married to their dad anyway, but she's married now, and her and the husband are just, you know, working together, building, you know, buying houses and driving these jeeps.
That's a key word you just said.
Building.
So the mother now with her new husband, and relationship, the key word is they began to build together. They may still do things as individuals, but they had a goal in mind, and that's what they were working towards. Nobody was out here wasting people's time.
Yeah. I feel like, you know what, there's when I used to work in insurance, there was something that we used to say in the office, and it was stay close to the fire. And what that meant is come to the office, come to work, liaise with your colleagues, learn as much as you can. You know what I mean? That's what stay close to the fire actually meant. And I believe that with that young lady's mum, for example, when she crossed paths with my man, because that guy was already on a roll. It wasn't like they came up, they were on a come up together. He was already in the house buying and the Jeep driving and whatever's going on. You know what I mean? He was already in business for a while. So she was like, yeah, cool. She applied herself, you know what I mean? And then they got on with it, you know what I mean? And they're building their empire. But it's mad because they might turn around and say, oh, we're doing it to leave a legacy for the kids. But then
It's still a goal.
But this is the thing, it's still a goal.
Still a goal.
It's still a goal, because
even though there could be other factors that could be neglected in the meantime, which you're not disregarding, they still have a goal.
Yeah. And I can see where they have used that as a focus to, you know, press on forward and achieve what they want to achieve. So it's not that, for example, he is saying he wants to go on holiday and he wants her to come along, and she's saying no. She's not saying,
agreed.
Oh, come on. She's not
They've
saying.
agreed on the goals together, which means they all know their role in achieving the goal.
They know their role in achieving the goal.
It's not left to one person to facilitate the most of the goal. They're working in teamwork, partnership, togetherness. They're bouncing off each other.
Yeah, one's not instigating nothing, because it's not like, as I said, she is even saying to him like, oh, like she wants to go on holiday and all this kind of stuff, and he's saying no or whatever. They understand. They've got the understanding that they work hard, they do what they need to do, they make amendments, they make sacrifices. Yeah, to make sure that
to reach the goal.
To reach the goals. And they have similar interests in their rewards. So wherever they might say, all right, cool, you know what, end of this month, let's go here. Boom, they just go. Yeah, you know what, summertime, let's go here. Or there's an event over in, I don't know, America, Jamaica, wherever, let's go here. And they just go. You know what I mean? Because they're on the same page. they're on the same page.
And as you said that, sorry, Jordan,
go for it.
it's very important. I believe that when you're dating, you're courting, that you are on the same page, because nobody has got time to be wasting.
Oh, glory.
Jordan, do you know, like, 4 months ago, we was in January.
Wow.
We are in May next week.
Yeah.
So
that was
my
quick.
point is that the time is going fast.
Time is going
So if you
fast.
meet a man or a woman, I feel that from the beginning on the meeting is, look, state your case. If you went to court, you're stating your case.
Yeah.
State what it is. I'm looking for a relationship where I can build with someone. And in the process, is that what you're on? Okay. Then you begin to discover about their morals, the standards, the principles.
Oh, glory.
Are they similar or are they
similar?
not? Does he or she know about boundary?
Oh, glory.
Because if they don't, and you are passionate about boundaries and lines, and they're not, it is not going to work.
Yeah.
We haven't got time to be wasting people's time.
No.
And then when you establish these from the beginning, then if it happens, a child comes involved, then you both have similar morals, standards and principles to raise the child. Because if you have a child and the woman is very quick to go and vaccinate and duke up the pitney, and then he's like, nah, man, let's buy some bush tea and rubbing down, it's not going to work. Because one parent's going to feel that you're not respecting my way of parenting.
Clash of the Titans, man.
Yeah.
War is war. War is war.
Before we get to certain, principles in the relationship, are we taking the time to get to know this person? Are we on the same page with our morals, our standards? What would you like to strive towards? Or are we just concerned with the lust?
Because as they say, Marie.
What did they say, Jordan? What did they say?
Oh my gosh, they just look at the woman,
and say, come here, let me give you a talk. Me like you know. Sorry,
you
bruv. What do you like?
Yeah, because you don't know me,
Because you don't know me, bruv.
Yeah. Steep. And that is what we see very, very often. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people wait until the ladies with child to start finding out what each other
is really like.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I feel that when you're in a relationship, when it becomes rocky, hard, whoever's back is against the wall, that's when you know if it's going to work. Does that person run? Or do they ride it out with you? And I think when you see that individual ride it out with you, then you kind of say, yeah, we got something to build on. Because I know if anything happened, we've got each other's back. But are we looking at the surface things about, oh, she may or he have got abs or big bum, big breasts, the lustful aspect.
The usual.
Are we looking about, can I have a conversation with you? Is it edifying?
Yeah.
Because the lustful side is for a moment. The
The
intellectual side is for a lifetime. When you get old and grey, you want to be able to talk. Is that what's in the relationship? Or is it just lustful?
Whoa.
And that's for men and women.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you the studio number, which is 07379 529 412. I will repeat. 07379 529 412. We would love to hear from you what your perspective is on your criteria, so to speak, on courting and dating and how that has gone for you.
What goals are you striving for?
Yeah, the goals. It's very important. I just feel that in a relationship, every year, as a couple, you should be striving together. You're building on that relationship. And, I feel that with a man and a woman, it shouldn't really take much time for you to realize, no, man, I want to ride with her. I want to ride with him. But where is the mindset of individuals nowadays?
There are a lot of like people who are just out for a temporary thrill. And if that is the case, then I believe people should state that from the start, from the jump. But if you're in, like, say, if you're testing something out, you know what I mean? Like, can we not say something like that? But if you're seeing someone, and it appears to be heading in a decent direction, then I believe the adult thing to do is to have that conversation about, what you want. Like,
I kind of think it's good to at least put your cards on the table from the beginning.
Yeah, even
so everybody knows where they stand.
Yeah, because there's no time to freestyle. You need to,
and then as you've put your cards on the table, then the person can either say, I'm not really looking for that right now. Cool. But because for me, it's like the more you get to know that person, you might start enjoying element and aspects of them. And then when you get to the question like, well, I'm looking for this and that. No, I'm just kind of looking for a bit of, I don't want nothing heavy. I just want a bit relaxed.
So basically, we're agreeing then, Marie, to say that it's a good idea to just
believe
get it.
That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
A humble opinion. Yeah. To just say,
because you kind of know from the offset exactly what to expect. Because that individual is saying, look, I'm not saying we're going to jump into something right now, but the goal is that I do want a healthy and stable relationship, someone that I can build with. We're there for each other and we're striving for goals, which the goals, you guys will come to that once you get to a stage like, let's make this work. And I just think it's not fair that if you're misleading someone and you're telling them one thing and then down the line you decide that I don't want this, that's not fair on that individual, because no one's got time to waste.
Yeah. Facts. It's true.
As I said, we are in almost May.
Yeah. We
just said Happy New Year.
Said Happy New Year.
So imagine that you met someone in January and said, okay, this is who I am. Yeah, I'm willing to take my time. We're not rushing down the aisles or anything. But this is what I'm looking for. This is where I am at in my life. You put it on, you put that down. And it's up for that person to say, do you know what? I'm not quite there yet. Fine, okay. Nice meeting you. Have a good life.
Yeah. Boy, I think if the phone line's open, I think we're going to hear some interesting things, because it's true. I don't know if a lot of people... Do you know what? I think it's the type of person, Marie. It's the type of person who respects themselves and respects their own time and their own schedule. It's that kind of person that has that accountability straight away from the offset.
But it's a key word you just said, accountability. I think sometimes us as individuals, we don't want to take accountability for our behavior. True. Then this is where a lot of misunderstanding takes place. Miscommunication. And this is why I was saying that if we communicate things initially from the beginning, no one can say, but I was just here because we were friends and you never said nothing. No, you knew from the beginning.
I think we're too old for that, though. I think.
Well, you'd be surprised.
I think
age is just a number, as Aaliyah would say.
Yeah. It's true, and I think when people are like polite, you get along with them and stuff like that. It's easier to, feel like, okay, it could be heading in this direction, but I think the element of respect, respect. I think if you respect yourself, like your name, and your name and your reputation, because your name and your reputation goes a long way. respect your name, your reputation, and you respect the other party as well.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely goes a long way. Because
Definitely.
I've heard ladies say to me that me by accident, like just me knowing them, yeah, like for however I know them from college or wherever I know them from. Some of them's told me that I've got more respect for them than their own nan. Yeah,
But that's sad.
It's
That's
sad.
very sad.
It's sad. And I want to say, yo, sistren, you gotta do some evaluation then, blood.
But then sometimes as women, because we're emotional beings, we become emotionally invested.
Yeah.
And then
Think
when
you
you
can
get
change
to
it.
that realization, it's the term, I believe, needs to be one of our slogans.
I believe.
Do I choose where my heart is or what I rightfully deserve? And as I was saying, sometimes your heart will not win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because where your heart is at is
Yeah.
not how you're supposed to be treated and what you
Yeah.
deserve.
Yeah.
It's really sad. It's a hard, when you're in that situation, it's a very hard
It's serious
to
because
be in, because your heart is yearning, as your friend would say, her partner. But then what she rightfully deserves is not where her heart is.
Yeah. True. But again, Marie, I believe that is down to the individual knowing their purpose.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Remember, we got the tune "Purpose" to run for them as well at some
Should we
point
play it?
soon.
And
Let's
then we
run
come
the
back,
tune.
yeah.
Let's play
Let's
"Purpose,"
play it and come back.
and then we're gonna come back and finish.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you may wonder, what is your reason of being? What is your purpose? So many times you've been told that God has a plan for your life, a purpose you must fulfill. Oftentimes you may wonder if your
You're tuned in to Just Cool Radio.
Hi, it's your girl Lady Danger and you're listening to Just School Radio.
Back.
But we're back. But before we divulge in a bit more, I'm going to give the studio number out again, which is 07379 529 412. I will repeat 07379 529 412. So call in, interact with us so we can talk. Because I do believe this is a very interesting and important topic that we should divulge in, because sometimes when we look at, like, for example, our grandparents and how our parents may have entered into courting relationships and the relationship and what we've seen come from that, they had a goal that they were aiming towards.
Oh, yeah.
Have we, in today's society, have we lost the concept of what a relationship is about? What a family unit is about? What is the criteria? What is the role of the mother, the father, and how we come together to impact the child? So before, we can really go in a bit more about the absent parent, what are we looking at when we enter these relationships? Because in today's society, I think there's too many broken hearts out here.
Broken hearts, broken homes.
Yeah. Broken children.
Broken children. A lot of brokenness. A lot of brokenness. A lot of brokenness. A lot of brokenness.
And time wasting.
Yeah. I think a lot of things have happened back to front. I think a lot of things have happened back to front. People kind of dive in. When you said divulge, some people. All right. If you think of anyone who's like seen videos of, like, say, let me use it for example, in the grill in Jamaica. People's climbing high. Yeah?
Not me. I'm staying on ground. I'm scared of heights.
And they dive into the sea. Yeah? They dive into the sea from high. And all the tourists are all there clapping like, ah! Yeah, because someone's going to do some full twist and layout, some somersaults and then dive into the sea. Yeah? And you see, in that kind of fashion, that's how some people dive into things with people. Yeah, they just dive in head first. Yeah, okay, all right. You're diving in, and you don't know if there's sharks in there. Yeah, you're diving in there, and you don't know what that water is gonna do to your skin.
Because remember, when we meet each other, as I would say, we wear a mask, and the mask can take. It depends on you guys as individuals. The mask can take months, weeks, years before it comes down and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what you're about. I'm not saying when you meet
Yeah.
someone you must go into personal details, you know, because you have to develop a level of trust.
Yeah.
You know, so that is good to. That's where you probably could start with. So where do you see yourself in like maybe 2 years from now or 3 years from now? If
Honest
you've got children,
conversations.
yeah.
Honest conversations.
If you've got children already, would you like children?
Yeah. These are the things that people need to say. Like, do you know, again, another thing just popped into my mind. I haven't thought about this case study for a long time. I know the lady personally, yeah, and she's dating this guy, and he basically was in prison for a crime that he didn't commit, yeah, and because he wasn't gonna testify, he wasn't gonna say who really done the crime.
The road code.
Yeah, he just took it on the chin. You know what I mean? And he done time, yeah. But you know what? When he done the time, he completed 3 university degrees.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Excellent.
He done like a variety of courses and stuff like that. And when he came out, you know, he's, you know, well-being. He was in good shape and stuff like that. And, you know, he'd been looking after himself, you know, and his mind, so it appeared. So when this lady started to, you know, show him to people, saying this is her partner, no one knew that this guy had just done bird for so long, because the conversations, the intelligence, you know, how he would articulate himself and stuff like that, no one would anticipate, you know, what kind of life he had been living for an X amount of years, you know, while being in prison. And the relationship was all honeymoony, it was all rosy and cozy, and you know what I mean? Like, it was just all going in the direction that they wanted. And then she was with child, and then the pregnancy was going nice, and everything was all right, and you know what I mean? Cool. Then the baby arrived, and then it was okay for a little bit, and as the baby started to get a bit older, she started to see some signs. You know, when you're at church, yeah, then you just hear the speaker say, "Turn to your neighbor and say da 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 da." It was like, this is a turn to your neighbor moment, like, where it's like, if I'm turning to my neighbor Marie, I'm literally saying, say road signs. And then
Road signs.
yes,
Road
that is basically what happened. She started to see all the road signs. If you are driving, yeah, anywhere in the UK or anywhere in the world for that matter, the street has to have some road signs at some point, yeah, to give you some little direction to say, oh yeah, well, branch off to this junction, that will take you to this place, or that will take you to that place, you know, or no U-turns, or no, oh glory, even that one there, that sounded horrible, no U-turns, because that is one of the road signs that the man started to display.
U-turns.
No U-turns. He was basically saying, now you're with me, you ain't going nowhere.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did she become his property?
Well, that's what he thought. Yeah, that's what he thought.
Okay.
And it was like,
but sometimes, sorry to cut you, Jordan, I'm going to let you finish. But then sometimes that happens in relationships, that people get complacent and think that, oh, you're not going nowhere, and take the mick.
oh yeah. On the
So
flip
it's
side, on the flip side. Yeah. Well, he obviously knew how he was psychologically manipulating the lady, because it's like, yeah, you got, it's me, the 3 of us, it's us against the world, like him, her, and the baby, and all that kind of stuff. Then the man started to do some possessive stuff. Then next minute, some narcissist stuff.
Oh no.
And then the man just started doing some crazy stuff. And any crime that he committed against her, He'd call her mum straight away. He would call all these family members. You know, we was all sitting down and she just flipped out on me. You know, it was crazy.
wow.
Like, yeah, but he's the crazy one. Yeah. But the point I'm making is she didn't know this till about 2 years in, until they got the pickney now. Yeah.
Did you think she? Because riches, it can happen. Did she see any little signs? Because sometimes when you're so in the honeymoon period and you're so loved up, sometimes signs can show, but because you're like, no. So I'm just wondering if she detected anything.
You wouldn't give the benefit of the doubt. Like, you wouldn't think,
Yeah.
he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But the man's-
it's a one-off, or no, I'm seeing things. Or
Yeah. And yeah, man, it was just really strange. And then they had to go court, and there was injunctions, and you know, the man's trying to get full custody over the baby. Then it just really got messy. Then he tried to set up a few situations where it would look like she's the crazy one. Like, yeah, it was just really, really nuts. And there was a lot of mental trauma that went on.
And all in all, the only one that's really gonna get the impact of all of this is the child.
Come on.
Because the child loves mum and dad.
Come on.
And to see the two people, your primary carers that you love so much, fighting is another traumatic experience for that child.
Yeah.
Is there a way, you know, things do happen and the relationship does break down, you know, we're not disputing that, but isn't there a way that we can learn to release the pain from the relationship, the situation, so we can put our focus on the child, be amicable for the child, communicate effectively for the child? Yeah.
I
know it's a process, because as the parents, there could be a lot of hurt and loads of things going on, but it's, you know, finding that balance in the midst of your pain to realize, but little Johnny or little Sarah, they are the ones who are going to be fully impacted in this. Yeah.
I mean, him wanting to take full custody, for example, I don't think it's because he thought he'd be a better parent. Maybe he did, because, you know, sometimes people that think that way think them kind of things. Oh, I'll be a better parent anyway, or whatever. But it was to try and ruin the lady's head, because if he did win that case, then and you know, made it look like she's unstable and he is more stable and his support network is more appropriate, then it would have only been to spite the lady. Yeah, if that makes sense. Not having the child's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
But remember, I told you he committed to the road code, and he didn't, you know, testify on who really done the incident.
So hold on. So he took the burden for somebody else.
Yeah.
And then you take the mother of your child to court.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what didn't work in his favor.
You're speaking.
Yeah, that's what didn't work in his favor.
On your child's mum.
Yeah.
But what you should have spoke to kind of spare your life, so you're more loyal to the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's mad. But what I'm trying to say is, but you know, you see, I have to think, where was the lady's mind? Because she met him while he was like still in prison, but he was coming out on weekends and stuff like that. So he was on his way to, you know, being released kind of thing. So she met him like in that stage of his sentence, like towards the end. But usually that lady wouldn't go for someone who, you know, has had a situation like that where they've gone to prison. And I know that's just out of preference on, you know,
but
rather
sometimes
than
as ladies, which you know, ladies, sometimes we like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Because you know, just as individuals, you know,
I'm that person.
We've
like
had a past,
people,
isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
But does your past define who you are in the present and the future? It doesn't always.
Yeah.
Because your past can actually, as we've said, push you into your purpose, transform you to become who you need to be as a man, as a woman.
Yeah, because he didn't put his hand on her, you know. It was all mental stuff. It was all like the manipulation and just setting things up and like mastermind stuff. Like the stunts he were pulling, like it was actually impressive. Like, not to say I was condoning it, because I know the lady
that he used.
but I said this guy's a genius. He's dangerous.
Maybe he had a lot of time to think.
Of course,
while he was away.
Yeah. Time to. I think he should have just wrote a script and just made the money. You know what I mean, rather than actually doing it himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's serious, and it makes me think, where was the lady's mind at the time when she was like, you know, like meeting him and stuff? Because I said it was kind of like she was going against what she was used to, because she wouldn't usually, you know, give someone a chance like that, but she did this time, and then that happened. And I'm not saying that she was right or wrong, because as I said, we're not judging anyone.
No.
On evening talks, we don't judge anyone.
Who feels it knows it. We're not
feels
here,
it knows
but
it. That's
we're
right.
just here to highlight various situations that you might think you're in a situation and like nobody else understands it, but you'd be surprised. It's a global situation.
Yeah, that's
Many men and women are going through a similar situation.
Yeah. And it's like, even like kind of moving on from that case study there, for argument's sake, like there's so many questions that, as I said, we'd have to ask ourselves as to why we tolerate or why we entertain certain conversations that then lead to courting and stuff like that in the first place. Because it's like someone who is very aware of their purpose, has been actively walking in their purpose, they could go through something where they feel a bit disconnected to their purpose, and at that moment in time they can meet someone, and that person maybe ticking a lot of the social boxes, maybe ticking various boxes that kind of give them a sense of comfort, but it may not be beneficial
For them.
once they tap back into their purpose.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
And it could be just that you can meet somebody who could be intellectually, you know, like via conversations, stimulating you, but then neglecting the emotional side of you.
Yeah, that's right. And it's deep, because I'm gonna share something. There was a lady who I knew who liked the idea of like socializing with me, speaking to me, like keeping me in the loop of what's going on, you know, with her, and you know, little things like that, and it was all cool. But one day I started to feel like my emotions kind of drawing in the lady's direction. So I'm like, Jordan, grab all of your thoughts, boy. Like, you know, them self-talks there. I had to literally like force myself to think twice, yeah? And then one day I was just like, me and her could never be. Yeah? We could never be. And I'll tell you why. I didn't trust the lady. Yeah? I did not trust the lady. Yeah? Like, I trusted her, like, let's say, for example, like, you know, if I was at her house and she made me a drink, I don't think she'd put something in the drink that she shouldn't. But did I trust her in a relationship? I was like, nah, man. I said, something just ain't sitting with me, you know. And we're there laughing, joking, whatever. But I said, something ain't right. So she was trying to, you know, signal the plane a little bit. And I was just like, nah, man, this ain't gonna work. This thing ain't gonna work. Cool. So I've just gone about my business now. Yeah, cool. Still, like, on the odd occasion, say hello and whatever. But not like...
You kind of checked out.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, fast forward now. when she felt that, because you see, we're spiritual beings, like, you know what I mean? You know when a person's
checked
out, yeah, so she knew that, innit? So as I've moon walked out of there now, she's, you know, let a man log on into her. The man come logging on, yeah.
Okay.
So he just come log on, you know what I mean? Man just coming in with a log on there, you know what I mean?
No.
And then, yeah, so he's there then now, and they're, you know, doing like the dating thing and up and down, and my man's buying things for her and rare and whatever. Cool, sweet. Then she started to realize that he was only good for like the physical aspect and the financial aspect, because the emotional aspect and the spiritual aspect, he was redundant. But I'm not trying to make the man sound like less of a man or nothing like that.
No, it's not about
I'm
less of a man. It's just how
it was.
some of us nurture ourselves. You know, some of us understand we have a spiritual aspect about us, so we would nurture that as well. Some don't. You know, it's an individual choice.
And it come to light later on that the man had been through various things where he wasn't really nurtured well himself, because he grew up, you know, without that loving structure, etc. You know what I mean? So there's no smoke without fire in that sense, you know what I mean? So anyway, now she's come back round now, like on some trying to report to me about what my man's not doing.
Oh no, she didn't.
Yeah.
Oh no, she
so
didn't.
I just said, yo, dog, like, this ain't, I'm not Uncle Phil, you know what I mean? Like,
Sorry,
I'm not.
we don't do that.
Yeah,
No,
bro,
no.
I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not one of these people, you know what I mean? You can't just come start telling me, like, man's Jerry, bro, I heard Jerry Springer passed away, you know?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah. So she thought that she's coming to me, because obviously I told you, I've moon walked out of the situation. She thought, she can come Jerry up to me, yeah, so I can, you know, listen to the
feel the emotional side,
feel the emotional side, and the spiritual side, and them things there. So when I watched the play now, I said, no, it's not gonna go like that. It's not gonna go like that. Yeah.
So Jordan, before you finish, I just want to say this. I just think that when you're in the process of courting and dating, whether you're comme ci comme ça about where you want to be, individuals need to be careful of the actions and behavior they display. Because as individuals, you can be forgiven. But you know what, Jordan? There's a barrier that you have. If you go below that, I will forgive you, but you can't get access no more.
Yeah. Facts. And you see, this is the thing. Where she had crossed that line with me, like where it's like she was confused, like she had her wires crossed, you know what I mean? Knickers in a twist, you know what I mean? Literally.
She had the drawers in her twist.
Literally, yeah. They were twisted, got it twisted, you know what I mean? So when that was all going on now, I was just like, nah, this is not my portion. This has got nothing to do with me. Furthermore, I'd be embarrassed to tell anyone that I'm there on phone listening to the girl with the complaints about the man, and me and her's not in or nothing. You know what I mean? You know.
At the same time, I don't feel, even though she's venting to you, she never took the time to take your feelings into consideration, because of the fact that you guys were initially talking and then she decided to go and
because you know what, again, you see blurred lines, blurred lines is a serious thing, you know. And these days a lot of people say that they're friends with people who are not really friends, like his friends.
But do we know what friends is?
That's
nowadays,
a different
topic now.
That's a whole different topic. You know what I mean? Friends is, I don't know what friends are these days, boy. I don't know. But Yeah, so I'm not saying, listen, ladies and gents out there, yeah, are wonderful listeners. I'm not saying as a real friend, yeah, like if you're a male and you've got a female friend who's a real friend who feels like your sister, your cousin, I'm not saying you can't hear her out, you know. Yeah, you can hear her out and give her sound advice. Yeah. But if you and the girl is kind of like,
you know, it's on a different level.
Yeah.
Let's stop being
It's
silly
not like
now.
you
not
feel
like
like that's your
how-
sister or your cousin. Yeah.
You know it's not that, and especially if you can detect from the other person that I know they kind of see me more than just a friend.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Let's stop being silly.
Let's stop being silly. Then you can't be counselling that person.
Yeah.
Especially when that person has got someone dead there. You know what I mean? Who's, you know, they're doing up happy families with. You know what I mean?
However, that's the choice they make.
However, that's the choice they
Yes.
made, and you gotta put some respect on your own name,
Yes.
yeah, and be like, nah, like if you're a lady, you gotta be like, I'm not Ricky Lake, yeah, I'm not any of these people, yeah, I'm not any of these people. So you can't just come tell me like all of this kind of stuff, because that's something that people do a lot these days. A man will have a whole woman at home and phone the next woman and be like, yeah, you know, this, and you're just telling that other lady you're telling all the business to, that you don't respect your woman enough
To even express
to
how
express
you feel.
how you feel to her first.
Yeah.
You understand what
Instead
I'm saying?
of going outside of the home.
Yeah.
Because depending on that woman you vent to can end up destroying your relationship.
Facts.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? So, you see, like, back to that lady I was mentioning there now, is like, what she figured, how she'd have her, like, her bread buttered, yeah, is like, that man there take care of the financial and the financial and the physical, and Justice will take care of the emotional and the spiritual. Yeah,
She needs
and
to
that
walk.
way,
She needs to walk.
that way, all grounds is covered. Yeah, but when Justice said, "Nah, you're mad," yeah, and bounce now.
Got the penny dropped.
Yeah, penny
How many
drop.
pennies?
How many pennies?
Millions of pennies.
Millions of pennies, because
Lifetime
I'm
of
millions,
regret.
you know. Yeah, I'm millions. I'm millions.
Unfortunate for
Yeah,
she.
unfortunate for she, because I'm millions. You know what I mean? So the millions of the pennies them drop now. She like, bro, like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? And yeah, she had to just work it out from there. Do you understand what I was saying? She had to
It
just
goes
work
down
it out
to
from there.
choices, isn't it?
Because
as
it
well
goes down to
sometimes?
choices. But it's because what happened is she dived in the thing like them people who's in the grill jumping off the cliff, yeah? And she end up in the water there, not realizing that there's sharks in there, not realizing that the
Oh,
water's
it's very
gonna burn up. Oh, glory. Yeah.
Very
and
shallow
that's what
water.
it is. Yeah. So come like when she dived in there, her hand hit the seabed. Yeah. Her hand
Well,
hit
did it
the-
rock? Yeah.
Her hand, yeah,
And
she
then
broke.
she resurfaced.
Yeah. Then she resurfaced up. You know what I mean? And it's deep because that's what a lot of people do. They dive into things and then realize that it's not what it seemed. And then they start, you know, calling on lifelines. Like they want to start phoning a friend. Do you know what I mean? They want to start asking the audience. You know what? They want a 50-50. Yeah?
wow.
Oh, glory. And she thought that I was 50%. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I'm
Oh
like,
no, honey, we don't do
"No,
50.
We don't do 50.
We're 100%.
Yeah.
You know, so if you don't want the whole package,
Oh, glory.
go.
Yeah. That's
Later.
it.
You know,
That's it.
you don't
That's
take
it.
piece here and then no. I'm the whole package, and if you can't see that, then you need to exit.
Yeah. And I feel like because what a relationship really is defined as these days is different to before. Unfortunately, this is something that we're seeing in our community a lot more often, and because the
People are getting
parents,
hurt.
people are getting hurt because the parents are, you know, people who are dating and courting,
Are getting hurt.
they're getting hurt. They're investing in this thing in a physical way, yeah, intimately. Now there's soul ties involved, yeah, and
Emotionally
as well,
spiritually
as well, and then you lot are just in an entanglement there. It's hard to resist each other. It's hard to just, as I said, moonwalk out of the situation, yeah, and when a child is conceived out of a situation that hasn't been assessed properly, we're going back to having the absent parents at times. Do you know what I mean? Or we're coming back to maybe both parents are present for the child, but the child has detected that mommy and daddy don't really love each other.
Which is a painful experience for the child.
Come on.
Because the child loves both. These are the child's heroes.
The heroes.
And the child saying my heroes hate each other. Then they start feeling, well, I don't want to show mommy too much love because daddy might feel away.
Yeah.
Why should a child have to feel drawn?
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
I understand, the different emotions and pain. I get it. But the primary focus is the child.
Yeah, man. It's very, very, very deep. It's very deep. It's very deep. But I think back to purpose, yeah. If we just go back to purpose quickly, yeah. I believe, yeah. Obviously, we go through our process, and our purpose is revealed, yeah. Or maybe our purpose is revealed, and then we go through the process, yeah. But then that gives you the standards to then know what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. What you won't tolerate, yeah.
And you have to be true to yourself.
You have to be true to yourself.
It's just like, for example, as individuals, you may not tolerate somebody being around you and it's swearing every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, if you dressed it, no, that's not how I live.
Yeah.
That's not what I want around me, my environment. I don't live like that.
Yeah. Facts.
I just think sometimes there's boundaries that as individuals we shouldn't cross, because every person's boundaries are different.
Yeah.
Because once you cross that boundary, you break trust.
Yeah.
You break so much levels that person no longer sees you again. They may still love you from a distance, but you've destroyed your process because you took an action.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful what we're doing out here.
It's so deep, yeah, because a lot of people might fall in love with the idea of being with you rather than falling in love with you. Because
so do you want to define it, Jordan? Define it for our
yeah,
beautiful
let me
listeners.
go for it for our champions, for our listeners, them, yeah. Because, all right, I'll use myself as an example, yeah. Years ago, when I was actively doing the poetry, we're working on it. We're getting back to where I belong.
Yes, we'll be back very soon.
We'll
not we, Jordan will be. I'm just encouraging Jordan. Like, come on.
Yeah. No, you're coming with me.
It's
You're
coming.
with me. So, it's like, let me paint a picture. It's like, I was out sharing poems, yeah, sometimes a few times a week, yeah. There were some weeks it was like a Wednesday, a Friday, and a Saturday. I've got an event, Sometimes it might be only on a Friday. Sometimes it might only be a Sunday. Sometimes I might have all two on a Sunday, for example, depending. Do you know what I mean? It just depends on how my calendar was looking. And I was going out a lot. Now, when I was in the momentum of it, and I'm, speaking life, I'm encouraging people, I'm sharing these poems everywhere and all this kind of stuff. There was a form that I had that, was like, yeah, like this he's trustworthy, like, he wants to see people advance, like he wants to help people and all that kind of stuff. It was like a very good sight to see, yeah. Then them times there, like, aesthetically and stuff like that, I used to look after myself very well. Well, not very well, but okay, I was doing okay. Yeah, I was doing okay. Do you know what I mean? So all round, it looked like, yeah, this guy might be a good guy to be with. Yeah. And it's like, oh, no children. Da, da, da. So they're thinking like that's one less stress. Like he ain't got no crazy baby mother.
Yeah, no baby mother drama.
Yeah.
And nowadays sometimes some men and some women don't know the boundaries.
Yeah, they
That
don't
when
know.
you're
They
no
don't
longer
know.
there,
Oh,
we
glory.
only deal with each other
Oh,
for the children.
Oh, glory. That's right. So that was a big plus to some of them, like observing, like, yeah, like don't have no crazy girl that's gonna come and try do something crazy and whatever. Cool. But the reality of being with me, there's a lot you might have to endure, or there's a lot that you will have to endure. Yeah. So it's like you need to be even secure. Yeah, within yourself. I will make sure that you're secure.
But you also have
but
to
you
come with that
also
level
have
of security
to come with
within
that
yourself.
level of security, because there's gonna be like people that want to speak to me because they might be trying to put me on another opportunity. There might be people who, you know, remember me from somewhere else. I'm like, oh, Jordan, do you remember me? We were at this conference, or we were at whatever. Or there might just be someone, like there might be a lady out there that's just trying it. Yeah, like
Which will happen.
Which will happen naturally. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to have the boldness, and the understanding and the security to know, like, this is a normal thing that kind of happens, and I'm not even famous. That's what I'm saying. I'm not famous. I am not famous. But because of the type of activity that I was doing before, like, people would like have that level of, you know, acknowledgement, you know. So there's that. That's only one aspect. There's other aspects. I'm a family man. There's a lot that I do for my family. So it's like, I'm not saying that I won't have enough time for my partner. No.
But it's to understand the different roles that you play in your life and respect that.
Yeah, because there's a few of them.
Because you guys can't sit there and just be looking at each other's face all day.
No, because I've got things to do. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's like, they might feel like, oh yeah, like this type of guy I want to be with. But you don't know if
the requirements that
you
come
don't know
with
the
it.
requirements that come with it. Like, because we get along, you know, on a level where it's like we're cool and whatnot. Being cool is different to being with a person, because what they say again about come oh well, why is it coming up my head? I said it on one of the other shows. Come see me. How's it going?
Come see me
and come
and
live with
me is two different things.
Aye, there we go. So it's like, you seeing me like around the place is different to being there, like living with me and whatever, and the sort of things I go through. And it's like, in my personal life, there's a lot of things going on because I'm tied to other people. I've got a lot of responsibilities, as I said, like with other people, my family, other friends. There's certain commitments that I just have. Yeah. So if something's going wrong in that aspect, or there's a challenge, or, you know, there's something that I have to overcome, it will probably be a very taxing thing. So I can't be around anything or anyone that's going to subtract or be draining. Yeah. Because sometimes I'm tired of certain things that's going on, but I can't take it laying down. I need my aggression. Do you understand? I need to be up. I need to be potent. I need to be powerful. Do you know what I mean? That means, again, I'm going to have some quiet time. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have some time literally sitting alone. I'm going to have some time to, you know, just, you know, be in the presence of God. You know what I mean? Or my other outlets. Do you know what I mean? For example, just to try and get myself back in balance, for argument's sake. So there's a lot of understanding that would have to come along with that. But again, not everyone really understands, because it might just look good, like, oh yeah, he's so cool and he's safe and all that kind of stuff, and I am, but there's more to it. Do you understand? And sometimes people don't really know this about some of the people who they're getting involved with. Do you know what I mean? Because again, you might be getting involved with someone that has got like a lot of traumas that they're still currently, you know, working through. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So there's a lot to kind of understand. But like, going back to myself, for example, it's like, because I have an idea of what direction I'm going, or I know what direction I'm going, I know that, you know, I've got a village to look out for. I've got a community to look out for. There's certain times where I might not want to take a leadership role, but I have to take the leadership role because people are banking on me taking the leadership role, because it's intertwined with my purpose and my destiny. Do you know what I mean? I know that there's messages that, you know, God will give me that I need to give unto people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that comes at a great cost as well. So there's a lot of support that I actually need, yeah, and it may be very, very heavy. So our lifestyles may clash when you might want to be outside every minute, for example, doing certain type of things. I can't afford to do them things because I've got to be elsewhere, you know, addressing what I need to address. I'm not saying that I never have fun. Of course I do. But sometimes there's a big compromise. Do you know what I mean? So,
but as people understand about what compromise really means in a courting, dating relationship,
not
the
always.
sacrifices that an individual person would make, because that individual's not going to make those compromise and sacrifice for anyone. How do you view that? How do you value that?
Again, I feel like, let's say, for example, I was kind of describing someone who may not be aware of their purpose, like their true purpose. For example, they might be aware of their career that they're currently in. They might be aware of their
necessarily your purpose.
They might be aware of a talent or two, but they might not be aware of their own purpose. Do you understand what I'm saying? So though I may be busy getting on with what I need to get on, she must be knowing what she needs to do too. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Messing about and idling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I'm with a lady who understands her purpose, yeah, and she knows what she's here to do, because if she knows that she just didn't come here by accident, and she knows that she was actually sent, yeah, she was sent to do something, yeah, then she's got to get on with her thing as well. So it's like, if I start entertaining someone who hasn't got a Scooby about what they're here for, then I'm gonna have to say that's my fault, yeah, because I'm wasting her time and I'm wasting my own time. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if I'm with someone, or I'm speaking to someone, dating, courting someone who knows what they're here for, then it makes a lot more sense, because we can get to the nitty gritty quite soon.
Yeah.
Because,
but if they don't know what
yeah,
their purpose is,
yeah,
then where they should, and you have to understand, you know, from like a spiritual aspect, when we cross people's paths, we are crossing for a reason.
that's right.
So remember, you know, as I've said to like some of my close friends, that when somebody, or you feel like you've been taken for granted, or they've overlooked you, what you need to understand is that they didn't reject you. They rejected what God placed in your heart for them.
right.
So
right.
all God will do is take you away because they didn't appreciate you, and He will place you somewhere else. Because remember, when you're in a relationship, or you're courting to enter into a relationship, your relationship in itself is going to have purpose.
That's right. It has to.
Whether your relationship helps to restore your family, help your family, help your community. But if you guys don't realize that your relationship has a goal and a purpose, you're not going to get there. Then we're going to worry about petty things like, oh, why are you going out every 5 minutes when, silly things like that.
Silly things like
Silly
that.
things when
Silly
life is
things
more
like
important
that.
than that.
Silly things like that. So this brings us back round to, are we following our heart, or are we, you know, following our purpose? Because a lot of the time you will be attracted to certain people, get along with certain people, but then you get to a point where
And you may even connect with them.
you may connect with them, then
on a big level, you know, like levels that you probably never experienced before in your life, even though you may have had different relationships. But then you still have to ask yourself a question. Do I choose between where my heart is and what I rightfully deserve? Because I believe if you go with what you rightfully deserve, then you will continue to be walking in your purpose. if your heart is not giving you what you rightfully deserve, it's a very hard situation because a heartache is not a good thing.
Nah.
But if your heart is not giving you what you rightfully deserve, treating you how you want to be deserved, respecting like you deserve, you know, encouraging and pouring into you, then you need to go to where you are deserving to be in order for you to fulfill your purpose, to maximize your purpose.
You just said something powerful there, Marie. Pouring into. What are people pouring into you? Sadness or you know, time wasting? Or
let's go back.
Or,
do people know how to pour in to each other?
Come on.
Does a man know how to edify and pour into his woman? Does a woman know how to pour in to her partner, husband to be?
Come on.
If your husband comes in or your partner who you're courting and goes, you know, I've had a bad day, and he becomes emotional, do you belittle him? Do you overlook him? Do you make him feel less as a man or a woman? Or do you try to say, do you know what? You're human. It's okay. Come, you know, you've got this. Do you encourage them? Do we know what pouring in really means?
It's deep because a lot of people, like, if we're going back to the start of this evening talk session, Emery, and we're talking about the impact of the absent parent, for argument's sake. If you like the little lady I'm talking about, the 15-year-old, her mum is quay, you know, other side of London, buying yards and, you know what I mean, driving Jeep and them thing there, getting on with it, holidays galore. I know that woman has not spoken to the young lady about, you know, how she should be poured into, because she's not even pouring into her daughter as a mother. You understand what I'm saying? And the dad, he's in America doing whatever he's doing. Yeah, he ain't said, you know what, princess, this is going on, that's going on. You know, as you get older, you're probably gonna see this. A man might say this to you. Like, you know what I mean? Her own older brother, you know what I mean?
Well, he's pouring in the wrong substance in her.
He's pouring the wrong. He's trying to talk about, you're gonna end up pregnant soon and and all that kind of stuff. It's like, that's not what she needs. Do you know what I mean? That is not what she needs. So, see, like that young lady, it's gonna take for the externals now. Yeah, it's gonna take her being purposeful in her sport. You know, her developing. I'll say to her, go and watch this podcast, or go and listen to this, or go and, you know what I mean? I'm trying to put her onto things that is gonna enlighten her and give her like life and purpose and stuff like that. Because there's only so much I can say.
It's like you just plant the seed, so she has to continue to fuel that herself as well.
And so that she can see the light in herself and the purpose that she actually has. Saying, you know what, regardless that my mum isn't there, my dad, my older brother, and whatever, that come, like, only my grandma look about me, I've got to keep my foot on the gas and do what I'm doing. Remember I told you she's the tender age of 15, only going to be turning 16 this summer. So she's still a child. But I have to speak to her like she's an adult, so she knows this is not the time to be getting swayed left or right. I need to be concentrating, listening to people like Jordan, other people that are caring for me, to say I need to do right by me. So I told her the other day, I said, you are your greatest investment. Yeah? You are your greatest investment. Like, you have to invest in you.
And there's a flip side to that. If you don't invest in yourself as well, you could be your greatest destroyer. You can destroy opportunities, blessings, whatever it could be. You can destroy it yourself.
You could destroy it yourself. You could destroy it yourself. So
sometimes because of the mindset, the concept, you can become a product of your environment and end up destroying. You know,
Facts.
Everything.
Destroying everything. And it's deep because it's like that young lady, as I said, I just feel burdened to give her the right information. So there's like, I'm looking for like some mentors for her, like, you know, some ladies who can help her and stuff like that. So that she's got some trustworthy people who can help build her up where she's not receiving that, you know? So that when it comes to her courting her dating, you know, that she's gonna be having how do we say it, like a higher standard to her criteria for what she will accept and what she won't accept. But the more,
remember, sometimes the things we accept is, you know, it's not things that in long term is going to make you happy.
yeah.
So you have to like look at the bigger picture.
Yep.
If somebody is around you and breaks your trust, even though you may forgive them, do you feel that you can ever confide in that person like that again? Would you be able to trust again because they demonstrated a level of violation to you?
Because it's about you knowing your worth.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about you knowing your worth. And all of our wonderful listeners out there on Just Cool Radio, yeah, everyone who's on the Instagram, everyone's on the TikTok, everyone's on the Facebook Live, yeah, everyone who's listening globally, we want you to have a real awareness of your actual value.
Please, your value.
We don't want no one taking advantage of you.
Don't let somebody come and mislead you or take you around a garden path.
Yeah.
And you've already set your standard of this is what I expect.
Yeah.
Because if you not getting that or that person's working to strive for that, you're wasting time.
Yeah.
And ending up with more hurt than you need.
Yeah. It's like, let's say, for example, you're out there working for £10 per hour doing a job, for example. You are not going to leave that job to go work at a job that's even harder for £1 an hour. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that because you know what the £10 an hour done for you, and then you're like, all right, cool, but you're not going to go to do something harder that's going to destroy your health, your well-being.
Take your time away from your friends, your family,
everything, where you're going to be even manipulated and all kind of stuff like that for £1 an hour. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that because you'll just set that standard and be like, no, that don't make no sense. Do you know what I mean? That person who is on £100 an hour, for example, they're not going to do more work for £10 an hour. Believe you me. Believe you me, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. So it's like you start to think what makes sense for you. Do you know what I mean? And when you love yourself more, because that's one thing that we want to put out there to our amazing listeners. We want you to love yourself. It's not easy to love yourself sometimes, but you have to sometimes forgive yourself.
Release.
You have to release these things. Because there's only so much God can do for you when you are cursing your own self. Because you're not releasing your own self from the traumas that you've endured. Forgive people, and forgive yourself.
When you forgive people, it's not necessarily for them, that's for you. You've released them, that you no longer be like, okay, cool, you've offended me, I forgive you, but it's more for yourself. Just to release them and move forward.
It definitely is for yourself. And we want you to have some suspense. And some expectation. Because we're developing this and we're journeying. Look how we started. We come through on the identity, because again, this is still a part of our identity.
Yes, it is. It is. It's all interlinked. It's still a part of our identity, because if you know your identity, you know what you're going to tolerate and from what you're not going to tolerate. And definitely. If you're a listener out there that has been tolerating something that is below par, something that is not what you should be accepting, we want you to evaluate. Look into things, with a critical eye. Take yourself out of the situation. Take emotion out of the picture for a second and say, hang on a minute. If one of my ladies, if one of my girls, was telling me this, what would I say to her? To the guys out there, like, you might be in a situation that don't make no sense for you, but you think if one of the brothers come and presented this to you, I
You
know.
no, you
Yeah.
tell him. No, you tell him. Do you understand what I'm saying?
We do understand that, it's not easy just to say, okay, I'm going to pack my bags and go. But see, is this that think about your mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Think about your mindset.
Come on.
Physically.
Mm-hmm.
If you continue in this way, what is it doing to you? Because if there's an area where you don't feel valued, appreciated, respected, it's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better if they're not showing any signs of like it progressing.
That's
It's
right.
just you're hoping for something that clearly that person doesn't want to give to you because of whatever selfish reasons they may have. And yes, it's hard that you're going to have to cut the ties, but as I always say, my peace and joy is better than the headache.
That's right. 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 I'm excited, Marie. I always say I'm excited, but I actually am. Like, I actually am excited because I know, like, even I know we got to wrap up right now.
Yes,
but
we have
it's
to.
like we've even had a lot of great feedback from our show last week.
Yeah.
A lot of people have come back and said, you know what, I actually cried.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's mad, like, to have multiple people come back to you and say that they cried.
Self-reflection.
It's because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Upon the self-reflection, they cried.
Yeah.
They cried. Yeah, they said, what? Like, this is the effects of the absent parent.
Yeah.
You know? Or, you know what I mean?
Sometimes it goes more deeper than you even realize.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I mean? So it's like, as we're, journeying here, as we're journeying here, and we're looking into these matters at face value, we're hoping and praying that we're inspiring, everyone. And we want to be inspired too, because we don't want to be going around in circles. Like, we want to do better, you know what I mean? So that we can do what we need to do better. We can live our purpose out better, and we can encourage another person in a better fashion, So we're grateful. We're grateful because where we're going with this is higher heights and deeper depths, and to really leave a long lasting impression on our listeners on Just Cool Radio, on Evening Talks with Just Jordan and Marie. So we want to thank you for tuning in with us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we look forward to you joining us next week.
Yeah.
Have a fabulous weekend. It's
one.
bank holiday weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Yeah. Time to reflect. Let's move forward in a positive way.
That's right.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see.